This program is part of the Cosmic Potato Podcast Network. For more shows like this, visit our website at cosmicpotato.com.
All right, you primitive screwheads, listen up.
I am Iron Man.
That's a big one.
Pizza Dude's got 30 seconds.
You are a toy!
It's Leviosa, not Leviosa.
Why so serious?
The city's flying. We're fighting an army of robots. And I have a bow and arrow. None of this makes sense.
And welcome to World War G episode 223. I'm Troy.
I'm AJ. The prodigal son has returned.
Yep. Except last week we had Colton and no AJ. Now we have AJ and no Colton because
We're playing musical chairs.
I know.
Being Father's Day and all, you know, and him having a couple of offspring spawn.
Yeah, him being the only actual father of the group, as far as I know. I mean,
As far as I know.
yeah.
I mean, I hope not.
I'm pretty sure I'm not a father. You know. Sometimes you got some wild oats to sow after a divorce, you know what I'm saying?
Right? You're like Johnny Appleseed over here.
Just planting them everywhere. All across the country.
You're like, I got one in each, like all 50 states. Child support. Jeez.
Yeah, that'd be a lot.
Yeah, all right, you got my $5. Like,
Yeah. So you've been
traveling the world.
you've been gallivanting around.
Yeah.
So where did you end up going?
So initially, one of my friends, she flew in from San Diego, and because she'd never seen, we'd never seen all the different like national parks, or she had never seen them. So we went like to Moab and hit Arches, Goblin Valley, which was really cool, and ended up watching like before to kind of prepare for this. I did watch Galaxy. What is it? What's the movie?
It's
Tim Allen. Galaxy Quest.
Galaxy Quest.
Yeah.
I kept thinking Galaxy's Edge. That's all I was thinking about.
Right?
Yeah,
that's all you got on your mind there?
Yeah.
So in preparation, watched that, and went there, hiked Angel's Landing in Zion, which, man, there are some like people that aren't like that shouldn't be hiking that hike, and also that shouldn't they weren't that courteous, because there's parts of there's parts where you're like 1,300 feet up in the air and you're just holding on to a chain, kind of like looking over the edge, and like one misstep and like you're a goner.
That's it. Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. They've actually had they even had like a disclaimer and like a little sign, and they're like 7 people have died, but it's like in the last 100 years, you know. So this is like okay. And the last dude to die, it was a heart attack. But there was one actual individual that he hiked it all the way to the top, no shoes, and then once he sat up there, like he started meditating. I'm like, all right, well you're pretty high up there, like I mean you do you kind of thing, but like he kind of lost a little bit of like street cred, like to hiking barefoot and, you know, kind of pulling a Hobbit. Yeah. Because he had a man bun.
Oh,
so I was just like, sorry, dude. No.
Dirty hippie, get off the mountain.
Push him off. Hiked a ton of different ones, like Delicate Arch, of course, and some of these others. Put in about 7 miles a day, so it was pretty fun. Then we went to LA, only to pick up a few more friends, one from like Toronto, one from New York and San Diego and LA, and we all went down to Mexico for a couple of days, and then went to California Adventures and LA and hung out around there. So, and then drove back.
But like, tell me, you weren't able to get into Galaxy's Edge, right?
Unfortunately not. Even like the people that the majority of them had season passes to Disneyland, and it was similar to the way that they set it up with San Diego Comic-Con, where it's like pretty exclusive, and you have to go online and try to get a ticket, and you've only got a certain amount of time.
Gotta get your reservation.
Yeah. Yeah. My cousins, however, like who I got to see as well, they went on it, and they said that there was only one ride, but as far as the world itself that they've created, like visually, like it's spot on. Like they've nailed everything.
Yeah.
But like it was kind of cool because they actually had it set up to where it's like, hey, it'll take 2 hours, you know, for you to make your way through the cantina if you want to go here, or you can go like on this ride, where. It's really kind of interesting because you actually have 6 people on your crew and you're flying the Millennium Falcon.
Yeah.
Kind of pulling a Han Solo here, and you have 2 people, one steering up and down, and you're trying to avoid like different asteroids and different things. 2 people are manning the guns that you have to like try to keep, you know, things at bay, and then 2 people are manning the engine. And trying to like, I was just like, man, nobody wants to man the engine, you know?
You don't want to be
Yeah, because it's basically you have to, you know, if you get hit by an asteroid or you get hit by like something, then you're fixing all the mistakes, you know?
Right.
So you just have to kind of sit back there and man that. But technically, you can actually die in the game,
really?
And then they're just like, all right, there you go. You do get to like respawn in and still continue the mission, but it changes up the outcome at the end.
Yeah.
So they've made it like a lot more interactive as far as this world that they're creating.
Huh. That's interesting. Because, you know, now you mention it, when you said there was only one ride in that land. If you think about the other lands, there's not too many rides in those either. There's maybe 1 or 2.
Right?
Now that I think about it.
And like for the most part, you're kind of just like wandering around. But they did only give you like a 4-hour window, and they have like wristbands on you, like different colors. And if you're caught in a group and you're not out in your time, then they kick you out of the entire park. Big Brother is watching.
Disney doesn't mess around.
No, not at all. It's not until I did find out that it's not until the 24th of this month that they'll start allowing like everybody else. But for the most part, they tried to keep it down so the crowds weren't too crazy in there.
Yeah.
Like, monitoring how many people got in. But yeah, it was an awesome trip. It's sad to come back to reality a little bit. But it's great like to come back here. 2 weeks.
2 weeks?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I say it seemed like that long. So
it seemed like forever, Troy. I missed the podcast.
So I was just curious. So I got on Wikipedia, and so at Main Street USA, you got the Disneyland Railroad, Great Moments, Mr. Lincoln, the Disney Gallery, Main Street Vehicles, Main Street Cinema. None of those are really rides,
right?
Except for the Railroad. A little bit. That's more of a it's hot and you're tired, and so you just hop on it,
right?
And then Adventureland.
It's like never mind. That's a horrible joke.
So in Adventureland, you have the Enchanted Tiki Room, not a ride.
Yeah.
Jungle Cruise.
That's one of those ones again, like you get some Dole ice cream, you know, or you get something, and then just kind of sit there.
You could be inside in the shade, and Jungle Cruise, that's a ride.
Right.
Indiana Jones, ride. Tarzan Treehouse, not a ride.
No.
New Orleans Square. Pirates of the Caribbean, ride.
Yes.
Haunted Mansion, ride. Disneyland Railroad, ride. Critter Country. David Crockett Explorer Canoes, not really a ride.
No.
That's more like camping.
Right.
The May Adventures of Winnie the Pooh, that's a ride. Splash Mountain, that's a ride. Frontierland. Big Thunder Mountain Railroad,
that's
ride.
Right.
Mark Twain Riverboat. Kind of
you walk around it and just kind of like...
It does move while you're on it, so I guess you are riding on the riverboat.
Right.
Frontierland Shooting Exposition, not a ride. Pirate's Lair on Tom Sawyer's Island, not a ride. Sailing Ship Columbia, like the Mark Twain boat, kind of a ride. Mickey's Toontown. Disneyland Railroad, of course. Goofy's Playhouse, no. Donald's Boat.
I don't believe so, no.
I don't go to Toontown much, so I can't.
The only one that I typically hit while I'm at Toontown is just the Roger Rabbit ride.
Roger Rabbit, yep.
Mm-hmm.
Donald's
that and also like pretend like you're holding the hammer trying to break out of the jail, you know, like the rubber bars.
Go to that Dog Pound and you're trying to...
Yeah.
Gadgets Go Coaster. which I'm surprised I've never been on, actually.
Right? Since she's your lady love.
I know. I'd like to ride Gadget the Coaster. Chippendale's Treehouse, no. Mickey's House and Meet Mickey, no. Minnie's House, no. And then Roger Rabbit's Cartoon Spin.
Yeah. For the most part, it's just a couple of rides per area.
Fantasyland. This has a lot. Yeah, the Fantasyland Theater. No, It's a Small World. Yes. Mr. Toad's Wild Ride. Yes. Peter Pan's Flight. Yes. Pinocchio's Daring Journey. Yes, basically. Pixie Hollow. What is Pixie Hollow? I can't remember.
I don't know.
All right.
I did like
question mark on that one.
Pinocchio's ride, because you do you get to see the whole entire city and overlook everything.
Yeah,
and it's for its time. It's a really impressive ride.
Yeah. It's a classic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, which those ones, for the most part, those are some of the original ones. So that's why I feel like there's more rides. And then you realize, hey, I only have to put one or two, sprinkle them in there.
Yep.
And then everybody's just going to pay for nostalgia and, yeah.
The ambiance. Snow White's Scary Adventures. Yes. Storybook Land, Canal Boats. That's barely a ride. Dumbo Flying Elephant. Yes. Casey Jr. Circus Train. I believe it is.
I was surprised to see how much land Disney still owns, and it's crazy because they even own the land that other businesses are on top of. They lease it to them on the off chance that they want to expand the park.
Yeah.
So they've got so much land there still to work with. It's not like they have to take something out only to build something new.
Alice in Wonderland, yes. Matterhorn bobsleds, yes. King Arthur's Carousel, I guess technically, yes. Mad Tea Party.
Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah, because you're sitting in the teacups and spinning
Oh,
around.
the teacups. That's right. And then Sleeping Beauty Castle Walkthrough. No. See, I don't do Fantasyland much whenever I go to Disneyland, so...
towards the end of the night, that's when we'll typically go there.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just because we've seen everything else.
All right. Tomorrowland, Astro Orbiter. Yes, I believe so. Autopia, yes. Star Tours, yes. Buzz Lightyear, Astro Blasters, yes. Space Mountain, yes. Disneyland Monorail, not really. That's more convenience. Disneyland Railroad, Finding Nemo Submarine Voyage, yes. Star Wars Launch Bay, no.
Well, okay, even the Finding Nemo one, you just hop in there and sit down.
I guess that's barely a ride,
right?
And then Star Wars Galaxy's Edge. All they have on here is Millennium Falcon Smuggler's Run.
Mm-hmm.
Then they said coming later this year, Star Wars Rise of the Resistance.
Which they are also... So they took out a Bug's Life area in California Adventures.
Yeah.
And that's going to be where Tony Stark's, they have, Stark Construction that's working on that section. Yeah.
That's cool.
To have the Avengers Tower, which makes perfect sense because they already changed the one to Guardians of the Galaxy that's right next to it.
And I would love if they actually made the Avengers Tower, to scale.
Mm-hmm.
So it was a massive skyscraper in the park.
Yeah.
I think that'd be hilarious.
It's even bigger than the Guardians of the Galaxy ride. It's just
it's just huge, 120 stories.
And then you could just stay in there.
Yeah.
You could actually have a room in, you pay for the penthouse suite. It overlooks the whole entire park.
That'd be awesome.
Right?
Yeah.
I did also, one of the other things, because we went and seen a movie, we went downtown LA to a theater. Okay, this theater, it had 3 stories.
Really?
Yes. I'd never been to a place where, and they also had a police officer walking from theater to theater, and he was checking off how many people paid for tickets and how many people were in there. He actually had to count the individuals. Yeah, because he went in there and I ended up asking him, I'm like, so what exactly is, he's just just making sure there's no people, that are theater hopping. Mm-hmm. And I was like, oh man, that's wow, they've really upped their game here. But it kind of sucks because where we parked and walked over to the theater, next door was E3.
Yeah.
Right there, just mocking me, and I'm like, I want to go. And they had all these people that kept walking out, and they had these headphones and Gears of War, and they had all this merch and swag, and I'm just I really wanted to like just punch somebody and just jack their stuff. And they're like, well, the best way that you could get in there and make sure that you get tickets for each year is actually open up a GameStop, because they're allotted so many like tickets to actually go participate and to, so that they can be in the know. So I'm like, well, there you go. Have to pay $1 million in order to get season tickets to E3. But E3 isn't the same anymore because it's just Microsoft and Nintendo. Sony's kind of doing their own thing. So it's not the big three anymore, where like even one of the main directors of Microsoft was kind of saying like, like we need to play nice, like come back, baby come back. He's like,
baby come back.
Right?
Sony come back.
The biggest games that they mainly talked about E3 is kind of Death Stranding, still coming soon. A new Doom installment. There's a couple of Wolfenstein games, which was kind of interesting. Zelda, I'll talk about it a little bit later, but like Breath of the Wild is getting a sequel.
Yeah.
And for the most part, it was kind of difficult because I wasn't like as interested because I hadn't been following. I don't follow Microsoft or Nintendo as much, as thoroughly as I do like with, PlayStation. But it was kind of it felt a little bit like a lackluster year.
I think the biggest thing I saw, and because in the past year, I mean, just being on Facebook and the, pages that I follow and stuff, I'll usually see quite a bit, but the only thing I saw was about Cyberpunk 2077.
Yes.
And that was because
actually Keanu Reeves coming out.
Keanu Reeves was in it.
Right.
But that's really the only like big thing that I saw this year.
Right. I did see like pretty cool like Gears 5 coming out, and then also with the new Modern Warfare Call of Duty game, Modern Warfare.
Yeah.
It's going to be starring the kid that plays in Gotham. He plays the Joker.
Oh yeah.
And then also he's in Shameless as well. He's going to be one of the main characters in that game.
So is somebody who listens to the podcast.
Yes.
Chad Collins.
Yeah. Which is way cool. I'll probably, I haven't bought every Call of Duty installment just because I'm just not that interested. But I will definitely be picking up this one, for that reason alone. To
support our friend Chad.
Dude, if he could sign a copy for us, that would be awesome.
That would be awesome.
He's kind of I've been following him on Instagram as well, and on Facebook, and he's been making his way through the ranks.
He has. He's kind of climbing up the ladder.
Yeah.
Yeah. We met Chad at Salt Lake Comic-Con. What, probably 2 years ago, something like that.
He was pretty close to that escape room that they had.
Yeah.
Just signing some stuff because wasn't he working? He was working on a sci-fi project at the time.
Yep. Yeah, and we just got talking to him. We got he gave us an autographed picture, and did we? I think we gave him a card.
Yeah.
Yeah. Then a few weeks later, he started following us on Instagram and stuff, and on our Facebook page. So yeah. So anytime that I see Chad Collins has a
project
coming out, I'll always share it.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah. Kind of plug him. So. Okay.
Let's get right to these stories. This week in Geek. Speaking of, just talking about E3 and now going straight to Xbox. I made sure, because I sent this story to you guys about 2 weeks ago. I'm like, don't share this story. I want to save this one.
Yeah.
Because it looks freaking hilarious. Xbox deodorant, and now is offering a deodorant and a shower gel that you can purchase now. And I'm I was laughing about that. I'm well, what exactly, what's going to be their catchphrase, or what's going to be the draw for, kids to actually purchase this thing? And just smells of it smells like your mom, or just geek sweat, I guess, or
get rid of geek stink.
Yeah. Go get rid of it. Yeah. So you can I think they should go the direction of kind of Axe. And kind of play it up as far as get the ladies as well as game it up. You know? Geek is still in, and it's going strong.
And the nerd stink or the geek stink, unfortunately, that's a thing.
It very much so is.
It really is.
Yeah.
If you go to any sort of comic convention or something,
that funk's there. It
happens.
Mm-hmm.
You'll probably get a whiff of it.
Do you want a quick story time? Okay.
Yeah, go ahead.
So one of your buddies, when you did your religious walkabout, Jared Clausen, I used to go over to their house, like growing up all the time. We would constantly be playing, like, this was before, like, you know, you could really play like bigger games. We'd play like WoW, Diablo, Unreal Tournament was by far my favorite.
Yeah.
But we would play, and his dad had hooked up about 16 computers together, and like like we'd have these huge LAN parties, and everybody would be playing. But like his dad had to install a swamp cooler right next to there, and also some fans, and like they'd had to like put the window, open it up, whew, it got kind of funky in there.
Yeah, especially when you're like teenagers like that, and teenagers, I mean, they stink anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's quite the funk coming from there, especially because one person didn't ever wear deodorant.
Yeah. Yep.
At all.
Yep. Believe me, I know. What is it about geeker nerds that for some reason
hygiene goes out the window?
Yeah. What is that? I mean, I've been a geek for long as I can remember, and I always wear deodorant every day. I shower. I shower every day. I mean, I don't brush my teeth. I mean, it's not you difficult.
Don't brush your teeth?
I do brush.
Oh, okay. I'm like, oh, geez.
I brush my teeth. I use beard oil.
Oh man, that's fancy.
I go all. I mean, it's not difficult.
No,
but I don't know what it is.
We even shared at one point. We even shared kind of a gaming, make sure hygiene video, right? Do you remember that YouTube video that we shared that we made?
Oh yeah.
It was also about like how to work out.
That's right.
While we made sure to talk about hygiene.
That's right. Yep, I remember that.
That. Oh man, I don't know. I really don't know what it is. Like that funk just kind of.
I don't know what the correlation is. Also, the correlation of geek or nerds wearing glasses. Like, why do we all have poor eyesight? Like,
sitting too close to the TV. It started as a young age.
Maybe that's what it is.
Right.
That's what it is.
They finally maybe that's why there's not so many people wearing glasses nowadays, is because they've invented, like wireless controllers, so you can kind of sit a little bit further away.
So back in my day, if I would have had a wireless controller, I wouldn't be wearing glasses today.
Exactly. Yeah.
Gotcha.
They should put together a lawsuit.
Class action lawsuit. The geeks will rise up.
You're like, we will be seen.
Yeah, hey. That's good.
Yeah.
Speaking of products for geeks, and specifically gamers, because we've been talking about that, PepsiCo has announced new Mountain Dew Keurig pods for working gamers. Now, this is Mountain Dew flavored coffee. It says Mountain Dew is very proud of this collaboration with Keurig. This will further strengthen the impact we've already been able to achieve in the still emerging market, said Amy Gomez of PepsiCo. Mountain Dew's core audience is gamers, and we're happy to see some of them actually showing up to work now. We believe we can.
Is that really what she said?
Yeah.
Wow.
We believe we can inspire dozens more. If I drank coffee, I would like to get this and try it.
Yeah. I imagine it's got to be pretty sweet. I would probably have to have a coffee and a Mountain Dew side by side, kind of to get to see if it actually does have that flavor, because Mountain Dew has a pretty distinct flavor, but I feel like coffee supersedes the majority of the flavors. You've got you've got things that kind of a hint of caramel, or a hint of, unless you go overboard on it.
Because coffee, usually it's bitter.
Mm-hmm.
And then you got the sweetness of the Mountain Dew. That doesn't seem like that would work.
Yeah.
But I guess people add sugar and creamer and stuff to their coffee.
So you might as well have a
sweeter
Mountain Dew-esque. But how do they actually make that in powder form?
I don't know. I mean, Gatorade does it. We can add, Gatorade, that powder to your water bottles.
That's what we need to do, is make a Gatorade coffee.
Yeah.
Corner the market, right? Start off your workout, like do a pre-workout kind of coffee. So you drink your coffee, you get the caffeine, so you're ready to like take on your workout, but then you've also got electrolytes in the mix. So, no, maybe, I don't know.
Yeah.
We
in a world where they're selling Mountain Dew flavored coffee,
it's not out of the realm of possibilities.
Why not?
Right?
Why make Gatorade flavored?
So I kind of touched on this earlier, but Nintendo announced that Legends of Zelda Breath of the Wild is getting a sequel, and they dropped the trailer at E3, and like they kind of just had a teaser trailer of it, but it looks pretty legit. And I was already like wanting to purchase a Switch because of Breath of the Wild, and now that they're announcing a sequel, like I'm probably gonna buy one.
Well, now that I don't have to get permission to buy things anymore, I'll probably end up buying a Switch myself.
Right? Because they do have like different like controllers that you can like utilize as well and attach, and they've got a lot of attachments and all sorts of different like games that I'm kind of interested in playing. But I've got too many games that I still need to play on the PS4. That's my only reservation.
Yeah. I'm watching the trailer right now. It looks like they're doing that cell shading again that they did before. I'm trying to remember Breath of the Wild. I get these games mixed up so easily.
Breath of the Wild was a extremely expansive game. Like, you could roam all over and just like for miles and miles. It was probably like, it was like on the scale of GTA 5, if not bigger.
That's right. Yeah. Okay. I remember.
There was even like that mechanical like places that you could actually go inside of, and you had to like locate these different like objects.
Okay. Interesting. And why is there always seem to be some sort of depressed tree in Zelda somewhere? Why is that?
Can't we have like a happy tree for once?
Yeah, they're always sad
Bob
trees.
Ross made happy trees.
Exactly.
Bob Ross, if he was still alive, he should be working on Zelda.
He'd be very upset because all the trees are upset. They're all depressed
trees.
Depressed.
You make Bob Ross actually depressed somehow. Like
you made Bob Ross cry. Zelda.
Oh, jeez.
Well, from things that you're interested in to things that I'm interested in.
Yes.
The first reactions to Toy Story 4 are out, and people are calling it another home run for the series. Tom Hanks, I saw him on Jimmy Kimmel.
Was it with Tim Allen as well?
No.
Both of the two? Okay.
No, it was just Tom Hanks. And he said, takes as a grain of salt because he's in the movie, but he said it's one of the best movies he's ever seen.
Really?
Animated or otherwise. Yeah.
Which, like, I mean, he loves his own movies, so.
Actually.
He's getting up there in age, though.
He is. He's in his 60s.
Yeah, that beard was looking mighty peppered.
Yes, very gray. Actually, I did a Celebrity 10s video on Tom Hanks, and he never watches his films.
Really?
Yeah. He'll go to the premiere, but I think that's the only time he watches it. The only film he ever watches, or has watched multiple times, is That Thing You Do.
Okay.
Because that is his film. He wrote it, he directed it, he did everything, so. Anyway. Spencer Perry said, at the Spencer Perry, I was skeptical as anyone when they said the words Toy Story 4, but it's another home run for the series. All the heart and humor you expect and plenty of surprises. It's amazing how they're always able to find something new to say with these characters. Carly Lane Perry said, at Carly Lane, Toy Story 4 is equal parts heartwarming and hilarious. I laughed until I cried, and then I just flat out cried when I least expected to. Pretty much the perfect capper to a wonderful Disney weekend with at the Spencer Perry, or as they were together. Somebody else said Toy Story 4 has an ending as lovely and warm and heartbreaking as Toy Story 3. Oh, great.
Yeah.
In between the genuine...
Troy's gonna have to bring his, tissues.
Whole box, yeah. In between the genuine belly laughs, thanks Duke Kaboom, Keanu Reeves again, actually, is a story that has the heart that Pixar is known for. Loved it. And then there's a few other reviews, but people just go on and on and on saying that this film is awesome, that it's great, that it's funny, that it's sad, that it's...
And we talked about this before, like the episode that I was like asking about, like Bo Peep still being, the villain, and it's not looking
she's
like
not.
that. No,
she's not.
This
Gabby character.
The other thing that was kind of interesting is because like a lot of these like reviewers were talking about, this really caps off, this franchise, and this really like, is a nice send off, and makes it sound like this could be the final installment. Question mark?
That's kind of what Tom Hanks and Tim Allen were
kind of alluding to.
Yeah. That this is it. Okay. We all thought Toy Story 3 was it, but apparently not.
Yeah.
So, I mean, who knows in the future? Maybe there'll be a Toy Story 5. I don't know.
What they need to do is just have an elderly Buzz and an elderly Woody. They're kind of like, Woody's getting pretty close to retirement in a week, He's like, I'm getting too old for this shit.
They have one last adventure.
Yeah.
And one of them ends up dying.
Ooh, they pull like a Tony Stark kind of a thing. Yep. Yeah.
So I wouldn't say they can't die, but they can, technically.
They have Buzz go to space, and he he's been out there for a couple of days, thinks he's gonna die, and no. Woody's like the Captain America of the group.
You show him at the very end, and he's all old and
passes on the mantle to somebody else.
Passes on his badge to somebody.
Yeah,
and his hat. Yeah,
and then just dies. And so he's dead, and then they kind of pull a Weekend at Bernie's, and they keep pulling his his string, making him talk, even though he's dead. Like,
unless
there's a snake in my boat. There's a snake. No.
From the universe that they've created, a toy is basically immortal.
Yeah.
Unless they are like a combat Carl in the first one and get blown up by Sid.
Yeah.
Toys will live forever. So
Troy's like, trust me.
Believe me, I've looked into this.
I've done my research.
And what I want to know is Forky, this new character, Bonnie creates him out of a spork, googly eyes, a broken popsicle stick, and a few other things. And then he comes to life.
Right.
So, how does that work? I mean, can you basically create...
Sid did. He created like these... I mean, I guess there were already toys that were like...
Yeah.
A lot. Well, no, because like a lot of the parts, like the erector sets, weren't given life until...
The baby head with the erector set, the erector set moved.
Right.
Like the baby
gave it life.
Controlling it. Yeah. That's interesting. So if you create, in this universe, something that has some sort of humanoid shape...
So Toy Story 5... Or no, actually, because Toy Story 5 will be kind of them like... passing on the torch, and then Toy Story 6 will be the revolution, where the toys uprise.
The great toy revolution.
And then they just create all these different other toys, that take over the world. They no longer are hiding and repressed and have to, play limp when like their masters come into the room. We
will not be slaves
any
longer. Do you hear the people sing? Singing the song of angry toys.
This has so much potential.
Yeah, it does. Toy Story 4 mixed with Les Mis.
Yeah. Whew. So Swamp Thing reportedly has a third season plans before it gets canceled. But then, so this is from Screen Rant, but then I've also heard from, Nerdist that they're going to be canceling it after one season. So there's,
It's already been canceled.
Yeah.
It got canceled after one episode.
After seeing the first episode, they're just like, no, which it looks so cool. And, visually, it looks pretty impressive.
No one understands, including the director himself, James Wan, no one understands why they canceled it.
Wan and Wan just doesn't equal 2 seasons.
Yeah, apparently people really liked it. They liked the look of it. They liked everything about it, and they canceled it.
it, like, I'm sure there'll be stories later on that kind of like tell us why and like what was the reasoning behind it. But it's not like even if the main person were to leave that they couldn't just get somebody else to wear the suit, you know, or if they had like, and this was supposed to be one of their flagship, one of their main draws to get people to actually watch the, you know, DC, like, and subscribe, right? Because they have that one, they have the Titans one,
Titans, Doom Patrol.
Those are the big three, right?
Yeah.
So with this one being canceled after, like, that's gotta create, because there's been people that have already been subscribed for quite some time, but that's gotta create some sort of it's gonna have some backlash. Yeah.
Create a little tension, I would imagine. But
after the first episode, like, now it makes me want to like watch the episode just to kind of like see what was there.
By all accounts, it didn't really have any problems. I mean, it was a perfectly fine episode, and I don't know. And yet Doom Patrol lives on. I've only seen the first episode, by the way. I haven't continued to watch it.
But were you even drawn in by the first episode to continue watching it?
Not really.
Yeah.
No, that's the thing. So
at least with these other TV shows, you know, some of the other, like Luke Cage and Iron Fist, you've given at least 6 episodes, you know, kind of give it some time to, but I guess it's still trucking along.
Yeah. Same with Titans. I think I did the same thing. I think I watched maybe 6 episodes or so. I didn't finish the season.
Yeah.
But I just get, there's just so many different things to watch.
Right.
You know,
you kind of have to pick and choose.
You do.
More, yeah.
And so unless something really grabs you, really holds on, then it's hard to keep going.
So if you need something to watch it on, Samsung has just released that they're creating, it's called the Wall Luxury. It's it jumped up from 219 inches screen to 292 inch screen. So it is literally a wall, and this TV is going to be 8K capable.
24 feet 4 inches.
Yeah.
That's how big 292 inches is.
That is insane.
Holy cow. That's a big TV.
Right? It literally is a wall.
Yeah.
But like when I first heard this, I immediately thought of 1984 where they've got like those walls and people are watching you, because you know that those TVs watch you as well as you're watching them.
Right.
And they're not turned off. Like, I know this is like conspiracy theories, but like that just seems like way too big of a TV. What would you actually need that for?
Yeah. And first of all, you're not going to put that in any house.
Normal house. Well,
you know.
Well, unless you had a room custom built just for that TV.
Unless you have the money. If you have the money to buy
then
a 24-foot TV, you have a big enough house.
We'll just chip in all together and we'll get one.
Yeah, sure.
Can you imagine gaming on it, though?
See, and that's the other thing. Would lag be a problem, you think?
With the no, because it's 8K.
I guess that's true.
They've kind of like, you know, but nothing's keeping up with that just yet, because we're still like working, you know, on 4K stuff.
I guess that's true.
It's got so many pixels in it that you wouldn't really like notice.
Yeah. I've always wanted to play video games on a giant screen like that. Like when I worked at the movie theaters, both of them, they said, "Oh yeah, you could hook up a Nintendo or PlayStation to these easily." I'm like,
why not? What are we waiting for?
Let's do it. Yeah, but I always worked for very not fun people that didn't do stuff like that. So
you're over here like acting like Bob Cratchit, and you're like, "Please, sir, like, can I play this?"
Yeah.
It was the Jonas Brothers that purchased the TV for the Cowboy Stadium. You know, the jumbo screen that like takes up the whole field. Basically, it's ginormous. It was like $50,000 for a couple hours to play video games on it.
They could afford that,
right?
I'm sure they could afford that.
Yeah.
That'd be awesome,
right?
That'd be really fun. So. I don't know who this story's for. I just found it and thought, why not? Let's talk about it. The Spice Girls. You remember the Spice Girls?
Yes.
They are getting an animated movie. It's in the works at Paramount, and all 5 members of the Spice Girls have signed on.
Of course he did.
To
what else are they doing?
Well, here's the thing, though. There have been rumors about Spice Girl reunions and stuff, and there's always usually one.
Well, that's like same with the Friends, or like.
But there's always usually one that holds out, and it's usually Victoria Beckham, because she doesn't really need to do that. She's married to David Beckham. She has her own clothing line. She's wealthier than God. So, I mean, she doesn't need to do it. So she was always kind of the holdout. So it's kind of interesting
that she actually signed on and agreed to do this.
She said yes. And apparently there's going to be, new songs in it. They're writing new songs. So it's moving forward.
But, okay, so how... Like, they've got to be at least, in their late 40s?
Yeah.
Maybe?
Yeah, they're all in their 40s somewhere, yeah.
Somewhere in there, about there. It'll be kind of interesting to see what they bring to the table, because, like, being a cartoon, you got to, like, speak to these younger kids, right? Mm-hmm. But at the same time, where they're older, you'd think that their songs had kind of changed with the times.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So it's going to be weird to see how, because it would be weird to see like a 40-year-old singing about like, we just don't know what, like, I mean, I hate high school and, like middle school's a real pain in the ass.
Well, the Spice Girls never sang about stuff like that, but I get your point.
Yeah.
The whole,
that was an extreme, of course, but yeah.
The whole like poppy girl group thing that was alive in the late 90s, it's not a thing now.
No.
Like nobody...
Bratz was like the last thing.
Pretty much.
Right?
Like nobody cares about that sort of stuff anymore. And
so I guess maybe like they kind of brought it back a little bit with like iCarly and some of these other installments with these young Disney kids that like occasionally will sing.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's kind of gone...
Yeah.
It's gone away.
Yeah, it was a fad and now it's no longer around, but I don't know, there are those guys and gals that are in their 30s and stuff that my brother is one of them that remember the Spice Girls back in the day and that saw their original movie, Spice World, which I saw.
Did you really?
I was dragged to the theater with my brother to go see it.
He's like, come on, I can't go alone.
Yeah.
That would just be weird.
Yeah, that would be weird.
So 2 dudes. I did actually, this was like back in elementary school. I had a pen pal that loved the Spice Girls. So I went to one of those book, what's that, where you could buy the books? Scholastic.
I was gonna say a bookstore.
No, but like the Scholastic, like in the school, they actually brought like the bookstore to you guys to purchase them. The Scholastic ones, and I went through and I found a Spice Girl book, and I like sent it to him. He was over in Germany, but yeah, he loved the Spice Girls. Don't keep touch with them anymore, but yeah.
Yeah, that was a good time back in like elementary. You'd get that little newspaper looking thing.
I loved looking through it, like reading all the synopsis on all those books.
Yep.
Circling the ones that you really wanted. That's where I bought Harry Potter from.
Really?
Yeah. I'm like, this one looks pretty interesting. Maybe I'll pick it up. But then I was like debating between that and a couple other ones.
Yeah. I bought a lot of Goosebumps books.
Oh, yeah.
From that. Yeah.
R.L. Stein.
Mm-hmm. R.I.P. Even though he's not dead.
Although those latest movies,
not good.
No.
Goosebumps 2, that sequel, bombed big time.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, because it didn't have Jack Black in it this time.
Well, did the first one do that well?
It did okay, yeah.
Enough to
obviously
make a
well
sequel.
enough to warrant a sequel.
Yeah. Good times. Trip down memory lane. Mm-hmm. So speaking of people in their 30s, probably doing this, you can buy robes at Star Wars Galaxy Edge, but then you won't be permitted to wear them throughout the park.
Yeah.
They're not allowing it for security purposes and for security reasons. But
You know, because when I first heard that, I thought, well, that's weird. But I thought, no, it's not. You never see any costumes.
No,
in any of the parks.
That's exactly right. They actually have an age cutoff where kids can't wear, Disney princess outfits any longer. I think it's like at 13.
Yeah, because that's all you see. You just see like little toddlers and stuff
dressed up as these different princesses.
Yeah. But any older than that, no. Because I tried to think, I'm like, no, that's true. I've never seen that.
The cast members,
of course, yeah, because they're obviously allowed to, but.
Yeah, Disney's not permitting it. So it's kind of like similar to what they do at like Comic-Con, where you can purchase these swords and knives and stuff that you just like aren't allowed to use them or display them. You know, you have to like take them directly to your vehicle.
Yeah.
Kind of a thing. I do also find this kind of interesting is because there's going to be in Galaxy's Edge, there is going to be a store. It's going to be different than like the rest of the park, where there's a specific store that you can only buy certain stuff.
Yeah.
You know, you can only buy robes from one store, and you can only buy like certain merchandise or certain items from one specific store. So you have to kind of like go around the park, you know, because typically there's a lot of crossover in the rest of the park.
Typically,
if you want to be able to buy like pins from a place or like other stuff, you'll see it like 20 different places.
Oh, the pins.
Right?
Yeah. Are they still a thing?
They are.
Did you see a lot of them when you were there?
A ton of people are trading them. And
really?
Yeah.
Huh.
You can like cast members will even like have lanyards with them that only kids are allowed to trade for. And my brother one time, like, he really wanted this one pin that this person had, so he gave it to this kid and said like, hey, you know, like, because he was there with his wife and like the rest of the family, and he was just like, would you mind trading this one for that one there? And then like, I'll give you another pin. But it was really funny because they actually go online and they buy like off of Amazon or eBay. They buy like 50 of the same pins or just random ones, because you can pick them up for like $1 for like 50.
Yeah.
And then you can go around and actually trade for better pins. Because those pins, some of them are like $15 a pop.
Yeah.
They get expensive.
I have the only one I ever bought, I had a genie pin.
Mm-hmm.
But that, well, did I have a Stitch? I might have had a Stitch.
I had a couple of Nightmare Before Christmas ones, and then I also had all of because you could purchase like this set where it had every one of the symbols, like Star Wars symbols.
Yeah.
You know, like the different cogs and whatnot. I purchased that one because I didn't find them throughout the park. But
yeah, I never got into that. The whole pin trading thing, It
was a pretty big fad for a while.
Yeah, it was.
Oh.
It was big there for a minute.
Another kind of interesting. Have you heard like about this, like Justin Bieber?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
yep.
Going on Twitter and challenging Tom Cruise to a fight.
Yeah.
And then like later on, like I'll have to find this like really quickly. But yeah, he went ahead and challenged him. But then after the fact, he kind of, you know, like recanted his statement. He's just like, oh no, you know, he's got that dad bod and that dad like strength. Like I would get my like trash whooped by him, you know. So he basically backed out of like this fight after it originally said it.
So yeah, his original tweet is
I want to challenge Tom Cruise to a fight in the octagon. Tom, if you don't take this fight, you're scared and you will never live it down.
You're Y-O-U-R.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You're scared. I'm like, you're illiterate.
So, yeah.
You're
scared.
Illiterate.
This is you own this scared.
Yeah.
Because it's Y-O-U-R. Yeah. Good job, Justin.
Who is willing to put up this fight? And then he actually put on the end of there, like Dana White is actually the person over like the majority of the fights.
Yeah.
And then even like you had Conor McGregor. Jumped on the bandwagons. Like, yeah, like this needs to happen. And
yeah.
Tom Cruise, he's in his 50s, right?
Mm-hmm.
And Justin Bieber's like 25.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I actually think Tom Cruise could whip him.
You think so?
Yeah.
I think that Justin Bieber would actually have a pretty decent chance. I don't know. I think it would be actually a pretty fair fight. Tom Cruise like does stay in like way better shape. If they if they were to do it today, yes, Tom Cruise like hands down, you know. But if they were to like actually have like a couple of months to prepare for this, I think. I don't know. Like Justin Bieber would have a whole entire they both have a lot of money, so they probably like get a whole team on their side and like go through all this rigorous training.
And Tom Cruise is crazy. That's the other thing.
Yeah,
like Tom Cruise, he'd just like eat, breathe, and sleep MMA for like a year.
Yeah, leading up to this.
Yeah. Like he'd run like 25 miles a day and just do crazy things.
That's true.
Yeah. Cause when he gets into something, he just dives into it head first.
Yeah.
Whereas I think Justin would be distracted by things and
other projects and other things. Yeah. Tom Cruise like devotes everything to this. Mm-hmm. That's true.
That's why I think Tom Cruise would have the edge, but
okay.
But we're not going to see it, so.
We'll never know.
We'll never know. Because I think Tom Cruise has a little... Say what you will about him, I think he has a little too much class to do something like that. But
yes, and it's not like they need it, you know? Like, no.
Anyway. So if you remember in Endgame, Tony Stark had this really nice cabin that he was living in.
Yeah.
Well, apparently, that's a real cabin that you can rent... and it's an Airbnb. You can go and actually rent that cabin.
Does it give a price?
I clicked on it right now, so I'm waiting for it to come up. Lakeside cabin in the woods, 20 minutes from Atlanta International Airport. Set on private property in the middle of beautiful Bocart?
Sure.
Okay. Farm, and home of, holy crap, Chattahoochee. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Chattahoochee Hills. This guest cabin can be your home away from home. Need to get away from it all without traveling more than 30 minutes from Atlanta?
Yes.
Need to have a corporate retreat with your elite team. Need to come take the kids fishing and watch a horse show? Then this is your place. A horse show.
Yeah. I know, but that just seems like really random. They put on a horse show for you?
They might have horse shows at that. I don't know. I thought maybe you thought a horse show with your kids. Avengers Endgame fans, would you like to stay in Tony Stark's cabin? This is the iconic cabin from the movie.
I would totally rent that one, but then like I'd probably require, or I'd say like, hey, would you mind just calling me Tony Stark?
It's $800 per night.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So here are the amenities: kitchen, Wi-Fi, free parking on premises. Hang on, there's a lot more. Just bring it up here. So yeah, Wi-Fi,
running water, outside bathroom,
indoor fireplace, dryer in the building, free or for a fee. TV, washer, essentials, towels, bed sheets, soap, and toilet paper. Heating, central heating or a heater in the listing. Air conditioning, hot water.
These are like normal things, right?
These are like things that everybody has. Free parking on premises.
Toaster,
kitchen,
microwave.
Guest access. Host greets you. Private entrance. Bed and
bath.
I
don't want them to greet me.
Oh, this is the best one. Hangers.
That's one of the selling points.
Yep. Shampoo. Hair dryer. Safety features. Fire extinguisher. Carbon monoxide detector. Smoke detector. First aid kit. So it's a house.
Yeah.
It has everything that houses have.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah.
Wow.
I'd still go and stay if I could afford it.
That would be pretty amazing. I'd probably have to you'd have to like book it out way far in advance, like a year or something, but then it would be cool, maybe like a honeymoon kind of a thing, perhaps.
Yeah.
But even still, $800 a night. There's so many other things I could do for $800 a night,
Mm-hmm. Talk about the horror show.
Make it rain out of that cabin. Hangers. That's really a selling point.
Hangers.
Now.
You get hangers.
Buy it for that reason alone.
$100 a night and you get hangers and shampoo.
Yeah.
Can you knock off the price if I bring my own shampoo and hangers?
Right? You're all bartering with them. You're like, $7.50. I'll bring my own. BYOS.
Can we do $500 if I don't use the air conditioning or the heat? It is a cabin, you know.
Right?
Bring a sleeping bag.
Yeah. Wait, you'd bring a sleeping bag to a cabin?
Well, that's true. Blankets. Oh.
Huh. I'm like, I hope they have beds. They didn't put it in the listing. They don't have beds.
I didn't see a bed in the listing. Yeah.
Well, I mean, if they bring up hangers, you know, obviously they have to, like, tell every cool feature about it.
It has floors. It has walls. It has electricity.
Yeah. They, like, the first 3 items were,
it has
okay, that
a
makes
chair.
Sense. Just one.
Has one chair.
Although, man, I would totally be taking, like, so many different pictures.
Oh, yeah.
Reenacting, like, all sorts of other stuff. Yeah. That would... I would. You guys already talked about, like, last week, I Am Mother, though, right?
Yep.
Just really quickly, because I had, like, ask you a couple of questions about it beforehand. It got a little bogged down towards the very end, but it seemed to end all right. What were your guys' kind of initial reactions to it?
Colton hadn't seen it.
Okay.
At that point. I don't know if he has. Probably not. Watch
it on Father's Day?
I liked it for the most part. I compared it to Lost in Space.
Okay.
Because it has a very Lost in Space vibe. But I think I gave it...
Or out of baby fetus?
I think it was fetus.
Was it? Oh, yeah.
I think I gave it like 2.5.
Okay.
If I remember right.
Yeah, I'd probably be pretty close. Probably at 2. It was pretty decent. It did build, like, it seemed like Mother was always so far away, though, right? That she had to, like, run through these halls in order to get there. And I'm like, if she's all-knowing, all-intelligent, able to, like, control all these other things, you know, she's, like, the original, you'd think that she would just have stuff, like, set up throughout the whole, you know, eyes and ears all over that whole, like, bunker. But she really didn't. She kind of, like she made it to where she could only hear what was going on. Well, no, because then she also had, like, she'd bugged it.
Yeah.
To where she was also, like, able to listen in when she said, like, hey, yeah, I'm going to, like, get rid of you.
And then you brought up an interesting point that I didn't even think of, that Hilary Swank's character was another one of Mother's creations.
Right.
And I didn't even think of that.
Because she had all those other failed attempts that were just in the ashes and the rubble.
Yeah. That she, quote unquote, aborted with fire.
You can do that, like, you know, like in this world, like you can be like in your 20s and you can still abort them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I think I basically said it's decent, it's good for a watch, but yeah.
Okay. The other movie that went seen was, I just had a bit pulled up.
The Dead Don't Die?
The Dead Don't Die.
Dead Don't Die.
This one, like, I was pretty excited for it initially.
Well, the cast is awesome.
The fantastic. You got, like, Selena Gomez, Adam Driver, Bill Murray. There was a couple, like, there was Danny Glover. Like, the list goes on and on as far as, like, these celebrities. But as far as the story itself, it follows, you know, Adam and Bill Murray. These guys are two podunk cops in this small city of Centerville, and they're
Centerville, that's
right?
Funny.
Yeah, I thought was kind of cool.
We have a Centerville and a Riverdale here in Utah. So that's
yeah. Like, is this like based off of?
Yeah.
But there are these small podunk cops that, like, nothing really exciting happens in their town. But then because
Much like Centerville.
Right?
Yeah.
But, and I loved Bill Murray's character because he was just so, like, plain and dry, and the comedic timing was definitely there. They did have a couple of jokes that were, like, run-on jokes that they used throughout the whole entire movie that kind of, like, okay, we get it, you know. It was funny the first, like, 2 or 3 times. But, like, it ran on. And even though Selena Gomez is like one of the biggest stars, she was she was only in the movie maybe 10 minutes.
Really?
Yeah, tops. But yeah, they go around, and because of this like event that takes place that basically shifts the Earth's axis a little bit off of kilter, like it causes the dead to come back to life and to rise. And so it's kind of a new take on zombies. But initially, like, it wasn't until about like halfway through the movie that you start like getting these interactions with zombies, and then the zombies just start taking everybody out. Like, everybody. There's no survivors. And I loved how dry it was, and like this is probably one that like I'll eventually like rewatch, maybe like on Redbox, just to kind of like, did I really miss something, or am I just like I wasn't in the right like zone, because I was there with like amongst a bunch of like my friends, and then like a lot of people that you could definitely tell were like hipster-esque because they were like laughing at every single little joke, and like but overall it was just okay. It wasn't all that. They didn't really bring much to the.
That's too bad.
Yeah, they didn't really bring much to the table. And I was like, had the ending ended really well, I could have forgiven something and given it like out of like 5 zombies, I would have been at least like maybe a 2.5.
Yeah.
But because the ending was even like pretty bland, I'm seriously sitting at like a 1.5.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh.
It was really unfortunate because it really like reminded me a little bit of that movie like 42. Do you remember that one back in the day where it had like that huge? I think it was, maybe it wasn't. No, not the baseball one. There was something like with the celebrities where they had like so many different like celebrities all together.
Yeah, movie 41,
41
or 43, something like that.
Yeah. But they had that great cast, and it just it didn't work. They had like comedic timing, and that was definitely there, and like some of the jokes were pretty funny, but overall,
I haven't really heard much from it. So yeah, that makes sense. I mean, it's not really making any waves. So
movie 43.
Yeah, that's.
It was just sitting at 5% on Rotten Tomatoes.
I must have been in just a goofy mood when I watched that movie because I really liked it.
Yeah.
And I laughed my butt off in that theater. One of my coworkers said, "Oh, what'd you think?" I said, "Oh, it was hilarious. It was great." So she went and watched it, and she hated me.
Yeah.
Because I recommended that. Yeah.
I
pretty sure she still resents me to this day. Sorry, Ashley, if you ever hear this.
Yeah, it was just not. It was just okay.
Yeah. All right.
Unfortunate.
I didn't see anything this week.
Okay. There are are there any ones in particular that you're kind of like wanting to see? New Gods. There's some big ones that are out right now.
Yeah, I keep thinking, do I want to go see Godzilla? I keep going back and forth on it.
I mean, you've got like The Secret Life of Pets 2, Men in Black, Dark Phoenix.
But all these movies...
Shaft.
Yeah, all these
Rocket
movies
Man.
are bombing.
Rocket Man's not.
Well, no, not Rocket Man. The thing with Rocket Man is...
People didn't realize it's a musical.
Well, that, and I'm not big on Elton John's music.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I've never really been a fan of Elton John. I mean, that's why I went and saw Bohemian Rhapsody, because I'm a fan of Queen.
Right.
And so I know all the songs, and
you can kind of sing along to it.
Yeah, I'm kind of invested in it.
Mm-hmm.
But Elton John, I have no interest in.
They did back in the day a little bit ago. They had that Romeo and Juliet, where they utilized a lot of Elton John songs throughout it, and I feel like they would probably just be kind of like rehashing those, because they did similar to what they did with like the Mamma Mia franchise, is they had to kind of like direct the story in a way, they're not in sequence when the songs actually came out or were released, but they kind of like, weave a story through his like utilizing his music in there. But even like that Last Night looks pretty hokey. The Hustle is still out. Detective Pikachu, Avengers Endgame, John Wick 3. The best ones, like, and the ones that I would definitely recommend, if you're a fan of the John Wick series, John Wick 3 for sure. And I don't know, I still might actually give Rocket Man a chance. Men in Black, maybe.
I don't like, there's really nothing right now that I just want to rush out and see.
Yeah. Which is just disheartening, because this is like setting up the whole summer big movie flicks, right? This is supposed to be like the time for movies.
Yeah, I mean, we're in June, which, we should have the big tentpole summer blockbusters, but at the moment,
nothing's making waves. No. Not even Godzilla.
Ironically enough.
Right?
I'm trying, I mean, what else? I mean, at the cheap theater right now, there's Captain Marvel.
Yeah. Which barely actually got released like on Tuesday.
Yeah, I can go see that again, because I've only seen it the one time that you and I watched it.
Yeah.
I never saw it again. I mean, Aladdin, Endgame is still in theaters. I don't know. So I was thinking about maybe going to see a movie today, but I'm trying to convince myself to actually get out and do something.
So you don't get that geek funk.
Yeah, I don't want the geek stink on me.
Full circle.
And that is what they call a callback.
Booyah.
All right. So, if you want to listen to all of our episodes, you can go to worldwarg.podbean.com. We're also on iTunes, Google Play, and at cosmicpotato.com. On social media, we're at facebook.com/worldwargpodcast. We're also on Twitter and Instagram at WWG Podcast. You can find all of our merchandise, if you want to wear us on your body.
Yeah.
At shop.spreadshirt.com/worldwarg. You can also email us anytime.
Day or night.
At worldwgpodcast@gmail.com. You can also call or text the show. Call Joel's line at 385-240-1692. So this has been World War G episode 223. That has been AJ.
That has been Troy.
Stay geeky, my friends.